So we open it up, and it looks like the frostbitten toe of an ancient giant has been violently removed and then stored in some hot, nasty swamp for a decade, and then removed and served to us on this hot day, right? And the lady there, she's like, "It's good. Yes, eat." Okay, so Da Nang, Vietnam. Today we're gonna go through our rating system with the 5 categories, right? We talk about the cost, we talk about the cleanliness, we talk about the transportation, we talk about things to do, we talk about the welcomeness. Those are the 5 categories. We rate each one on a scale of 1 to 10. At the end, we do some magical math, come up with a final score that is much more than 10, hopefully. And that's that. If you want more information on the techniques of the scale, I'll put a link to a video where it's described in detail down in the description. Just down here. Be down there somewhere. All right. So recently went to Da Nang, Vietnam. My family and I took a cruise there. It's like a big Navy ship, only it's awesome. It has like bars and pizza and pools and stuff. And we rode that to Da Nang, Vietnam. And then we got off and we saw Da Nang. We also saw, after Da Nang, we went to Ho Chi Minh City. The two are very similar in a lot of ways. I'll put a link to that video somewhere in here as well. I'm pointing because maybe I'll have a block. I don't really know how this works yet. I'm still learning. But similar to Ho Chi Minh. So let's go in. Let's talk about Da Nang. Da Nang, the cost, category number 1, right? It's cheap. The food was delicious and cheap. You go into the markets, you get literally anything that you want. You can get really nice clothes, shoes, purses, fake really nice, all of those same things. You can get anything, fake or real, maybe real, I don't know. Amazing food. I'm pretty sure you could buy an oxen in there. I don't know, but I did pass one. Anyway, it's really cheap. Also very tight. It's kind of claustrophobic. A lot of the aisles didn't really have room for even the tiniest of person to go through there. But they do have everything, and it was cheap. So cost, scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 7.5. Higher on the rating, the better it is. Doesn't mean more expensive, it means the better. So better in this case is cheaper, right? Cleanliness. Not the cleanest place, but not that bad. Again, in pretty much every video that we've done so far has seen this, right? The commercial areas with the nice malls and everything really kind of meant to bring in the tourists. Those are very clean, very nice. But if you stay away from those, to the local markets where things are cheap and awesome, food's better and cheaper. It's a little bit dirtier, a little bit more of the critter thing running around. But not really that bad, right? So nice areas, stupid clean. Poor areas where the cooler stuff is, much less clean. We give it a 5.5, right? 5 is average. Transportation. So we rolled around a lot. I'm not gonna lie. We were on a chartered bus that took us everywhere we wanted to go and like served us tea while we rode in the amazing air conditioning. But I did not see too many tuk-tuks. Other places that I've been, or whatever, like a rickshaw, I don't know. Other places that we've been, there's a plethora of these little like bicycle rickshaws or tuk-tuks or some kind of little cab, and the normal cabs and everything. It seemed to be a lot less of those there. So I'm going to rate this category so we don't leave it out. Screw up the math. But my experience it's not great. But we gave it, just from visual, not seeing everything. We gave it a 5.5 average. It's available, not super duper convenient. Next category number 4. I don't even know where we're at now. Things to do. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do. So not too far from Da Nang is this old city, Hoi An. historic district, right? And it's actually, um, it was because of its historic value during the war. Like it was just kind of left alone. They didn't want to destroy the coolness of this place, and it is super super cool. Hopefully, I edited some cool pictures of Hoi An in here. But there's everything in there. There's cool shops, which were pretty cheap, delicious food, uh, super aggressive peddlers, which is kind of part of the experience. We have, I don't know, maybe you've been to a country like Vietnam or Bangkok or India, and they have people selling stuff on the streets, and they're just really aggressive. And this lady comes up to us, and she's got like this weird flying toy that costs about 12 cents to make, right? And you twist a rubber band and it flies. And she's like, "Ooh, look, kitties!" And they're trying to like market to my kids, and they're like, "That's so cool!" And she's like, "Hold it!" And they hold it, and I'm like, "No!" And she's like, "All right, you owe me money for that." And I'm like, but it's free, right? You said hold it, it's free. She did say that before. I might have left that out. And she's like, "Yeah, it's free to hold it, but now it's yours because you touched it. Give me money." And I was like, "How much?" She's like, "How much will you give me?" And I was like, 1,000 of your currency. And she's like, "Ha ha ha," and like snatched money out of my hand. Got it back, paid a not quite fair price, right? And I know better. I've seen it, allowed it to happen. That's my bad. But be careful if you go. It's fun. I mean, yeah, she took more money than the thing was worth, but it's not a lot. And it's a cool experience, cool story. Anyway, they had a lot more, right? They had tattoos. They have this cool Japanese bridge. I don't have a picture of it because it was all in scaffolding and we couldn't see it, but I saw pictures of it and it's awesome. And it's in Hoi An, and you should see it when they take the scaffolding down. Um, there's one really cool store that sold silk things, right? And you go in and they don't just sell the silk things, they make the silk things from the silk that they harvest from their silkworms. And they show you all the different stages, like this is a baby worm, this is a big worm, this is a dead worm, this is us pulling the silk out of the dead worm, this is us taking dead worm silk and turning it into silky thread, this is us dyeing our silky dead worm thread, and this is us creating beautiful clothing out of our awesome dead worm silk thread. Uh, Totally awesome, totally cool, totally do it if you go. What else? They're well known, the area for like the basket boats. So I guess back in the day, taxes and stuff. Taxes are a reason for a lot of cool things, but they taxed boats like seagoing vessels. So what people would do to avoid this tax is make baskets that were really big and watertight, and then they would get in those baskets and do boat things. But it wasn't a boat because it was a basket. It's a basket boat. They look terrifying. They look super unstable. If you watch The Amazing Race, they feature them on there. They got like crazy people doing super scary dances in these things. Anyway, basket boats, cool. Moving on. What are we moving on to? Basket boats. Food. The food is delicious everywhere you go. It's cheap. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. Um, Again, just like a warning, street food, dysentery, death. Never experienced any of those things, dysentery or death from dysentery. I have died, but not from that. But be careful when you eat street food, even though it's the best, always, and the cheapest. Um, they have this cool little thing we'll talk about later. Uh, Temples, tons and tons of temples. These Chinese temples when they first like came down there, right, and they left their ways from home. They try to bring them back with these beautiful temples that they built, and they're amazing. And you can tour so many of them. They're just wide open, and there's people there telling you all about all the different things, and you can make offerings of incense. So the places smell amazing and look amazing, and they're very cool. Most of them are free to go into. Uh, Marble Mountain is super cool. Big mountain made of marble. It's got amazing caves in there. It's got temples built on it. And all around it, you can buy products that have been made from the marble that's come from the mountain. Um, the places that we went to were very expensive. But if farther away from Marble Mountain, you get the cheaper the things get until they're stupid, like market cheap. So, things to do. There's lots. I could keep going. I'm not gonna because time. 8. Gave it an 8. Welcome to this last category. People were very nice. They're very helpful. They're very kind. They're funny. I don't know if they always try to be funny, but they're always funny. They're very, very, very eager to help you. I think in many cases that's because they want to relieve you of your money somehow, not like steal or be angry. But many of the very, very helpful people were offering some sort of a service, which is fine. It's good. So we gave welcomeness a 7. It's good. So now it's time for the final score for our visit to Da Nang, Vietnam. We tally up all the other scores, which was a 7.5 for cost, 5.5 for cleanliness. That's a drum roll. I'll stop. Just imagine a drum roll. Transportation 5.5, things to do 8, and welcomeness 7. We do the magical math that we don't discuss. It's just magical, and you get the final score of 67. Should be a cool gauge here where I'm signaling to on the video. If it's a podcast, you can't see it, but imagine a cool gauge, the dial, and it says 67. So it was awesome going there. Back to the beginning, right? We're opening this thing up. It looks like a nasty frostbite toe from decades ago. So gross. It's called a century egg, and it's not actually a century old. They like make the egg. Usually in Vietnam, it's a duck egg, and they store it in clay and other minerals for up to months, and it turns to like this black jelly, and they just dig it down there. They love it. They eat it. I wish I could tell you I ate it and it was delicious, but I didn't eat it. And I heard other people say it was not delicious, but also not disgusting. So, love to try new foods unless they look like frostbitten, swamp stored giant toes from a different age. So that's that. That is Da Nang. Join us next time for another cool review. Bye.